it.
We need it.
We've been eating for far too long. Well, that's a by way of entertainment.
Thank you so much, girl. Stay tuned to Joy 99.7 FM. Top stories coming up next on your superstation. This is Drive Time with Joy. Ofurion Fun Sound from 2007. Kwame K. He's taking the movie time, you know.
the headmaster just told the students to stop their exams and they should all come out.
He went to the examination center and then started shouting, all the candidates, all of you, stop writing, come out. Before we realized that surrounded us, and then the man gave the call and beat them.
Tonight, students on rampage, a bloody attack on WAEC officials and journalists who had to flee for their lives in one Eastern Regional school after a mob of students writing exams charged on them. In another Savannah Region Senior High School, armed police have taken over another school as students went on rampage protesting strict invigilation and the refusal by authorities to allow them to cheat.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Gasim Cement, the nation building. Vodafone, the future is exciting, ready. There are students tonight on rampage in parts of the country where they've been writing the WASI examinations. Primarily, the disturbances revolve around strict invigilation or complaints of same and refusal by authorities, WAEC officials, to allow the students to cheat. In one instance, which is still unfolding in the Eastern region, the students in the Bright Senior High School at Kokrintumi have charged on the WAEC officials, assaulted them, including a journalist who have been severely injured. A lot of them have been rushed to the hospital for treatment. Also, we're learning tonight of police taking over another school, this time in the Savannah region. Of course, this follows what we saw in the Chinibua Koja Senior High School, where again the students went on rampage, destroying school property. That has now been dealt with and calm has returned. A lot to get through for you tonight. We're also hearing from the teacher unions, NAT in particular, that is tonight demanding severe criminal sanctions brought against students targeting their members and teachers who are invigilating. The WAEC has also been reacting tonight, and the Ghana Education Service as well. The Director General has been detailing severe sanctions that are currently being contemplated, including fishing out those students seen on several videos circulating on social media who will now be dealt with. The GES position is that this is purely a case of indiscipline. Let's start in the Bright Senior High School at Kokrintumi this evening, where tonight a reinforcement of police had to be called in to deal with rioting. One WAEC official who was a subject of the attack filmed it all. This is what unfolded.
So this is the headmaster telling the students to stop their exams and they should all come out. Look at him, yeah, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's the headmaster. Yes. So the headmaster just told the students to stop their exams and they should all come out. Yes. The headmaster just shouted they should all come out, and these are his men. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
And so that is the WAEC official there who caught this on camera. Mr. David Evans Mensah, who is a WAEC official who was leading his team on that particular campus. My colleague Kofi was caught up in that riot and joins us on the telephone line right now. Kofi, so in the end, we saw really disturbing pictures and videos of injured men, some with gashes in their head, fingers as well. What really happened?
Okay, so Evans, it was a confrontation or a fight between the students of the school and the WAEC officials present to ensure that the students adhere to all the rules governing the examination today. So what happened is that the officials, according to them, had protested that they wouldn't allow the students to, cheat in the examination because, according to one of them, they had seen a prepared solution to one of the question papers. So they insisted that the school authorities do not allow the student to enter the room with these questions. So that brought about the misunderstanding between the school authorities, the students, and the WAEC officials.
So how come? I mean, how did it end up in so much blood being spilled there? I mean, a lot of them, I've seen the pictures in the hospital also. What happened to these individuals specifically? Were the students armed?
The students, some of them were holding sticks, some had stones in their hands, and they tried chasing the WAEC officials from campus. So in the process, they were able to, take some of the officials' phones, and they hit it on the ground and destroyed it. And the officials who were also present, the rest of the officials were also chased out of the campus. Some were also hit with the stones the students were wielding.
And there's this particular video I saw. Some of the officers had to go to the hospital for treatment, but it appears a graphic reporter was severely injured as well. And his case, the students appear to have pursued him with a motorbike.
Yes, so he was also on the premises of the school to report on the earlier incident. And when we got there, according to him, he started taking some videos, and the students confronted him. Actually, they had that they were instigated by their director to, confront the graphic reporter. So in the process, they attacked him, but he was able to escape or flee from campus and ran to the Kukrantumi township. The students also followed him up there on the Kukrantumi town and unleashed the attacks on him in the main Kukrantumi town.
Some fascinating details now emerging about the complicity and involvement of the head of this particular school in instigating the students against the authorities. The WAEC official leading the delegation to this particular school has been providing the following details.
They wanted to pass papers to them. They couldn't. They were using some of the Form 2 students, and we happened to have got one of them who had hidden social studies textbook. We got the person. So the person was there. So once they realized that now all their avenues have been blocked, then the man got agitated. He went to the examination center and then started shouting, "All the candidates, all of you, stop writing. Come out. Stop writing. Come out." So based on that command, the candidates all stopped writing and then started massing up. Before we realized, that surrounded us. And then the man gave the command, "Beat them. Beat them. Beat them. Collect their phones." They collected our phones. Started beating us. Exhibits that I had on them, photocopied materials and things. They collected those things, picked my money, picked things from me, official documents, collected those things. My phones, including the phones of my colleagues, destroyed our things. So with the beatings and everything, we managed to come out of the place. We got our way, and unfortunately, there was just one policewoman there. It's a big center, scattered. She was helpless, really. There wasn't much she could do because it was such a crowd. There were over 1,000. So we got to her, and then she called the district command, and they brought reinforcement to the center.
We're also learning a bit more about what appears to be a coordinated attempt by the school and its head to facilitate examination or practice in the school, and which is really what the WAEC officials had attempted to stop. That then led to the rioting today.
I realized that there were photocopied materials of solutions to the question that was the paper that was being written. So I got alarmed and then decided to, watch around a bit.
Which paper was that and when was this?
It was integrated science. In the course of the paper, there were photocopied answers. In the urinal, I picked some. In the urinal at some places. So I went to one of the classrooms. As I got there, I saw one guy hold the photocopied material. When he saw me, he placed it in his desk. So the invigilator in the classroom, who happened to be a teacher of the school, I called the man's attention to it. So I told him that there's something in the desk. He should tell the guy to bring it out. So the invigilator put his hand there, and he said he didn't see anything. So just as I was about to put my hand there to bring out the photocopied material, then the invigilator went there and then picked it out and then held it. Once he held it, I told him to give it to me. So because once he gave it to me, I was going to ask the candidate also to write a statement. He said, won't give it to me. So he held on to it. I was with one of the administrators of a Bright SHS. He said, he won't give it to me. So before I could say anything, this invigilator, who was in room 26, had put the paper in his mouth and he started chewing it.
In your presence?
In my presence, in the presence of the school administrator, whose name is Isaac.
Okay.
So Isaac asked him to bring it out. He wouldn't bring it out. And at a point, he brought it out and then threw it outside the window and then bolted. Meanwhile, that wasn't the only thing. The proprietor of the school, Bright himself, he moves from one examination hall to the other, giving our photocopied answer to the candidates, teaching the candidate in the examination hall. And so because of what happened on Monday, we decided that no Bright teacher was going to be a part of the vigilation team.
Kofi is still with me on the line. Kofi, also tonight, it is emerging that apparently the headmaster of this particular school had also attempted to induce the WAEC officials in vigilating the examinations there.
Yes, Evans, this has been some speculations over the years. Any time there is this WAEC examination, we hear of issues of bribery among the head of the school and the WAEC officials. So this time round, the WAEC officials decided that they will bring strict guys who wouldn't, compromise their stance. So these were guys who were brought there, and they knew very well that they wouldn't, as it were, take money from the school officials. So the head of the team that came to the Bright School, he is Daniel Nijan and David Nijan. Let me get it right, David Nijan. And he says that from the time they came to the school and started invigilating, there's been an attempt by the school proprietor to induce them so that they will compromise their stance and allow the students to cheat.
The headmaster of the school, immediately I got to the school day one, he started, give me your phone number. I want to see you. Let's sit somewhere and talk. Oh, so each time I told him, I'm here to work. When I finish working, we'll talk. Then, oh, no, I want to see you. I want us to talk. Give me your phone number. At no point did I give the man my phone number. And today what also happened was, we had information that the man had recruited people from other places to come and write for other people. So we went there with verification machine. So it was also in the course of doing the verification of the candidates that he got agitated, went there and then asked all of them to stop writing the exam. So we couldn't even we couldn't do 5% of the verification process. So we left them because our lives were at risk. So we had to leave them to do whatever thing they wanted to do. We left them. Other colleagues I have had cuts. I had injuries on my head. They kicked me. We came to the hospital and we are being dressed. All of us are being given medical attention.
I want to take you now to the Indira Jakpa Senior High Technical School in the Savannah region, where again students went on rampage as we speak. Reinforcement of police had been sent in to maintain law and order. There's currently, in fact, a Municipal Security Council emergency meeting on the premises of the school as they attempt to prevent a future eruption. Again, still, students complaining that the invigilation had been too tight and the officials were not allowing them to cheat, and that in this particular case, the students were agitated about the distance that they've been asked to sit. That, of course, prevents them from cheating. My colleague Isaac Nonya is following this for us and is on the telephone line with me right now. Isaac, tell me, so what's the latest on this? From what I understand, calm has returned, but the security officials are still trying to talk to the students to avert another eruption.
Yes, the latest is that the MISEC chairman, together with the GES municipal director, moved to the school to speak to the students before they started their paper this morning. Away from that, this afternoon, we also realized that the MISEC, together with the Security Council, start with the student leadership. I'm talking about the SIC, to dialogue and first of all find out what could have been the cause of what happened last night, and also to find a way to the occurrence of future incidents.
Now, in terms of the violence itself, give us a sense of what actually happened.
Well, somewhere last night in between 6:30 and 8 p.m., there were unusual movement of students around the exam hall, and it was explained that around 7 to 7:15, 5 people were found, 5 young men were seen in the exam hall. And this happened after the assistant headmaster academic and 2 others when they arranged the hall for today's exam. But they observed that the behavior of the 5 students was not normal. While they were still observing, they left the hall. Later on, they saw 3 other female students also move into the hall, observed and left. 2 minutes after that, there was unusual chanting by students from both sides. I'm talking about the boys' dormitory and that of the girls' dormitory. Within no time, the sound started coming, and the students started mobilizing towards the exam hall in the night, where they started pushing the furniture that were arranged the 1.5 meter distance. They were started misarranging them and then moving to the dining hall, pushing the tables down, and relocated to the assistant headmaster academic bungalow. His louver blade were removed. I mean, the TV antenna he set up was vandalized, and portion of the house furniture that were lined up around the veranda were actually pushed away and then broken down. As we speak now, the 6-unit classroom block that was built and handed over to the school administration somewhere April, meant to do away with the double track, portion of it is also vandalized. And all this happened within 30 minutes. You know, the school lighting system was destroyed. Was also destroyed. Giving credence for them to do whatever they wanted to do. Because
so they wanted to do this under the cover of darkness. Isaac, thank you very much. Thankfully, we've just been joined on the telephone line right now by the Municipal Chief Executive of West Gonja Municipality, Said Muhazu Jibril, who has been leading a Municipal Security Council meeting on this. Thank you very much, Mr. Jibril, for your time here on Newsnight. I know you've been chairing a Security Council meeting. What have you managed to agree?
Evans, good evening to your listeners. Currently, we are still at the MUSEC meeting with the SRC and the school staff, both teaching and non-teaching. And so we're trying to extract information from the students, what led to the disturbance yesterday. And you know, it was around 6:45 p.m. last night that I got a distress call from the headmaster that his students were demonstrating. For what reason, he himself didn't know. So we have to call in the police to quickly quell the disturbances. But then it was something that they had planned for a very long time, plunged the whole school into darkness, and where they were able to vandalize a few things in the school. So, in fact, we came timely to at least stop them from getting to the school vehicles and the administration block. So we were able to stop them. Until this morning, we came to at least verify the extent of damage to the school property. And so from there, we had a series of meetings, engagement with the students. I had the engagement with them around 6:30 this morning. Then the regional minister also had an engagement with them. And so later, we finally, after the paper, the social studies paper, we met them again. And so this evening, what we are doing now is to actually get information from the students, what the problems are and the way forward. And it will baffle you to know that these were just small issues that could have been solved. One of the reasons is that the first paper they sat in for, that was on Monday, the integrated science, the spacing as compared to what they saw yesterday was different. And you know what happened yesterday was that today they have a general paper, and just like any other school, after every paper, the sitting arrangement is disorganized. So the assistant headmaster academic, who is the supervisor with his team, went to the exam hall to rearrange the place for today's paper. It so happened that some few students went and saw that the spacing is now different from what they saw for the first paper, and they were not happy.
And that is what might have led to the rows that we saw. Let me ask you finally, what's the plan now? I know you called in the reinforcement. Are you maintaining the security presence on the premises of the school? And what's the plan to forestall an eruption going forward? Because the exams are still ongoing. Exactly. So what we have done is once in a while we bring the police to just come and patrol, but they are not stationed on campus because the situation has been normalized. The students are going on with the normal student activities on campus, but we can't leave them to just go freely because something can erupt again. And that's why currently we are we have moved the music meeting to the campus, where we are engaging teachers and also the teaching staff to see the way forward. I wonder, have you made any arrests so far? Has the police made any arrests so far? We have investigated and we've gotten about 13 names, and then we will take the action when the need arises. Because the situation is still volatile for you to start arresting people, and it may inflame passions of the students, and it can cause a lot of harm. But we have the 13 names. Very soon we'll be working on them. Okay, I'm grateful. That is the MCE there for the part of the West Gonja where there have been these riots in the school where, as he says, they're going to put in place additional security measures. The security agencies will be patrolling there just to make sure that the calm is maintained. Said Muhazu Jibril, MCE for West Gonja Municipality. A key question about arrests being made tonight. In the case of the Eastern Regional School, we're yet to hear of any arrest there. I want to go back to my colleague Kofi Siao, who's joining us, who's still with me on the telephone line right now, has been following up with the police. Kofi, I know a complaint was filed at the police station by one of the individuals assaulted. Do we know if any students have been arrested?
No, there hasn't been any arrest since morning. I spoke to the district police commander, Superintendent Obin Dompre, and he says he hasn't got enough men to dispatch them to the school to if there is any arrest they want to make, then they can make. So okay. That is what he says now.
Kofi, thank you very much. Now, this, of course, has been playing out in parts of the country. We've had incidents in the Ashanti region. We've had the situation in the Eastern region today. Also with the Savannah region, as you've just heard. There's been had a situation also in Bono where students threatened to riot. The police had to step in together with the District Security Council, and that was nipped in the bud. And then in the Northern Regional Capital, Tamale itself, a teacher and his family had to flee after students threatened to kill him and the family because he was being too strict in supervising the examinations. We're now hearing from the biggest teacher union, NAT, the Ghana National Association of Teachers. Their president has been speaking to us on the development. She says they've seen this before, but nothing on this scale as has been played out across the country. They are demanding now that the authorities, the police and the GES, cause the arrest of students who are threatening teachers and invigilators across the country and bring them to book. Listen to Philip Alassing, president of NAT.
It's so disappointing to hear students saying that they have been deceived. I don't understand the deception in this issue. Students are taught at school by their teachers. They go through a period of 2 or 3 years before they finally write the examination and exit. Now, the issue of government giving students past questions, I don't think that is a bad idea, because even before this time, parents were buying the past questions for their students. Now, the fact that you have the past questions does not necessarily mean that you have to stick to that of one particular year. Now, the issue of teachers and heads of schools that being threatened, I think that is a non-starter, and it is criminal. And I would ask that the GES and other security agencies will have to come in and arrest people they have to arrest, because threat is also criminal. And we will not sit down for our members to be threatened. It is very serious. You see, let me say one thing. The fact that something is free doesn't necessarily mean that the quality is not good. And for majority of us, especially the students, who are also major stakeholders, I don't know whether some of them felt that because education was free, examination was also going to be free in terms of the answers they have to provide or produce. And these are issues. And you could see that a lot of the teachers were complaining because majority of the students were not serious.
Is it something that is unique to this particular batch of students, or something that it's in your experience has always been there approaching exams? Why is that such an important thing for you to highlight?
It used to be there, but it has been serious this time. You see, the issue is that sometimes we think anything that is free is not of good quality. The fact that government is paying your school fees and paying for everything, giving you school uniforms, all the necessary materials you need to learn with, doesn't mean that at the end of the day, government will have to answer questions for you during the examination.
Do you get a sense that the schools had that? Do you get a sense that the students had that expectation that the government will go to give them access to questions ahead of time and help them pass exams also?
Well, you see, the behavior of some students tell you that they had an expectation that maybe the examination was also going to be for free, in terms of the fact that maybe the questions were going to be so cheap, but we are talking of quality.
Well, ahead of the WASI examinations, government had for the first time invested in procuring past questions for the students to assist with their preparation. Some of the students we've seen them on social media and some viral videos complaining that they have been deceived as part of this rollout of the free SHS policy. Well, the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Poku Amankwa, has been responding to that. He says it boils down to indiscipline, and the service will deal and crack down quite severely on what is happening in parts of the country.
Out of the 631 schools, some 2 or 3 schools are saying that they learned those questions and they did not come. So that is a failure of a government policy. Again, this is just the beginning of an examination which involves about 50 different subjects. So I don't see how the policy fails from that point.
How then would you explain these concerns of, the disturbance in some of these schools that we've seen on social media?
It is pure indiscipline. It is pure indiscipline. If you went in there and what you learned, your answer did not come as they put it. It doesn't give you any authority. It doesn't give you any power to go out there to go and destroy government property. It is pure indiscipline, and I've said it and I'm repeating it. We are going to deal with that. We will deal with that. It's as simple as that. So it is indiscipline, and we shouldn't encourage it.
So for these,
explain it away with politics. It shouldn't be so.
So for these students, that some of them we saw on video, specifically, what actions will the GS take?
For every school where that thing came up, we have alerted the district directors, the regional directors, the heads of the schools, and we are going into it. And if they are found culpable, we will apply the rules and regulations of the school, of the GS. It's pure indiscipline. And past persons and storming past persons have always been part of exam.
Well, that is the Director General of the Ghana Education Service speaking on PM Express last night. Isn't it amazing when your network cares about you so much, so that they do amazing things for you? You guessed it. I'm talking about the Vodafone Cash dropping all charges when you send money to all networks. Yes, you've heard it right. It costs absolutely nothing when you send money via Vodafone Cash to all networks. Just send any amount as many times as you want to any network and pay zero charges on the money sent. So go ahead, make payments, show your love, make contributions, send money, or you want via Vodafone Cash to all networks for free. Dial *110 *110# to send cash for free. Ready.